Hey guys, what's going on? So, One Star Diamond Nick Jarosh here. I wanted to create a video because I know how crazy navigating social media can be and the different things that you try to go through. And I want to specifically go into Facebook, and especially if you're a coach on our team or if you're just checking this out and you have some questions about how to grow your business on Facebook or how to use some of the various social media sites. I just want to give you a little bit of insight that has worked for our business and our team. There are a lot of other great information out there, and a lot of great coaches that are doing a phenomenal job. But just want to give my insight on this and share with you guys so that as you guys go through, you don't make the same mistakes that I made in the past. One of the biggest things I think most coaches think that social media is for is, or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, is that it's for, I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to pitch my product. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to, I love Shakeology, buy Shakeology. I love P90X, buy P90X, buy TurboFire, buy Insanity. And that's not what social media was designed for. That's not what it was created. It was intended to just be that, to interact with other people, to meet people, to engage with them, to figure out how people are doing in their lives. And there are different platforms for engaging. There's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's Instagram, and each one has its own unique way of going about implementing information. So you have to be really careful about just sending a message and posting your link all the time. That turns people away. That doesn't get people excited. That turns them away from the products. Those things right there. As soon as you sign up as a coach to put out, I became a Beachbody coach. Here's my website. Go check it out. Buy something. Not too many people are going to do that because you haven't built a trust. You haven't built a rapport with the people in your social networks, in your social media. You haven't built up your brand yet. And when I first heard brand, I was saying, a brand? How am I a brand? Well, think of your brand as your story. What is your story? That is kind of your brand. What story do you want to tell through who you are? Especially as a Beachbody coach, it can be tough because we're all kind of selling the same product, but not really, because everybody's selling something different. Everybody's talking about them. We've all had different ways of going about losing weight, meaning some of us have had 150 pounds to lose and we battled with this issue and this issue, and some of us have 14 pounds to lose and maybe we didn't have that issue, but we have this thing that going on in our life. So because of that, you need to really develop a trust and rapport with those individuals that you're going to be talking to. Just to keep throwing, as I talk about a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook, just to be throwing those right hooks, the big ones that create the most dollars, right? If you keep throwing all those, that's not going to work. It's off-putting. Most people don't want to see that. They don't want to see, join my challenge group every 2 minutes. Or they don't want to see you selling your product every other post. I once heard that kind of a good ratio is probably a 10-to-1 ratio. 10 posts, and we'll get to what this means, but 10 posts that are engaging, and they're kind of those little jabs. 10 posts that draw people in, show you who you are, what your brand is about, who you're about, and then one post on the join my challenge group, become a coach, those sort of things. And I would even say it just really depends. Maybe once a month, twice a month, you can throw a couple of those in there. So I'm going to really focus on Facebook because Instagram is a little bit different and Twitter's a little bit different, but I know a lot of coaches are on Facebook. And one way to do this is if you create a like page, or a lot of coaches like to create a like page because that instantly is able to build your brand. A personal page, this is taking many social media webinars, and this is, I guess it's a preference thing. If you can build your personal page as your brand page, it's a little bit more challenging. So I recommend you start a like page, but understand it's going to take time to grow that page. It's going to take time to engage people into what you want to do. So when you're you create a like page, and you have your brand out there, okay? Your brand is not Beachbody. It's not P90X and Insanity. That's not your brand. Your brand, again, is you. So, I wouldn't recommend putting like Nick Jarosh, Beachbody coach. Put who you are, or if you have a unique team that's unique to you, make that your brand, your niche, going after those people that you want to associate with. Okay, so how do we do this? So we got our thing up there, and again, you can do this on your regular page. It's a little bit more challenging, but still doable. Okay, um, you want to create content that gets people to like, post, and comment and share your pictures. Now think, what do you go to do when you post, or when you look at people's pictures? What do you like? What do you typically like? Do you like when somebody puts a post about them selling their car? Do you like that? Typically, I don't. Okay, I like great pictures, great content, great information. That's what people are looking for. So they're looking for this information. They're looking for this good content, and it doesn't come from a lot of those right hooks. It comes from a lot of subtle little jabs. And so, what does that look like as a Beachbody coach? Well, posting a picture of water, like what you're drinking, how many ounces of water you drink, and maybe a little snippet about the different types of ways you can spice up your water. Okay, I saw that one the other day. That was a really good one. That's a little jab, right? It's giving, and remember, you can't just put a picture up of your water and say, I drank this water today. Most people don't care, right? Unless you already have a big following and people want to know, okay, cool, Tony Horton, what did he drink? He drank this water. I throw a picture up there of water, no one's going to care, right? But if you post something that pertains to that, like maybe how water can help your hydration and improve your cardiovascular output, however that is, if you put that information out there and somebody thinks, hey, I was meaning to know that, I wanted to know that, they can do that. If you put a picture of you doing a squat and showing the different ways that people can mess up on a squat, the different ways that you have, that kinetic chain where if you have the knees over the toes, or you have, whatever, you're buckling the knees in, and you show them how to do a proper way to do a squat, that's adding value and content. And so you're going to get more people that are going to engage in that than you are, say, buy my challenge pack right away. So you need to be sharing what you know. And I say that because I use the examples because I know some of those examples, but you really want to use what you know. If you have a great recipe that's just rock solid and it's something that you use every Friday night instead of going out to dinner, post that. People want to see that. They want to see that content. Recipes get a lot of likes and comments because they're just great. People have a hard time. They struggle with their nutrition. They struggle with their feedback on their nutrition. One thing I like to do quite a bit is, go to the newsstand and find magazines and go through it and look through see where some of what are magazines talking about. What are the things that they're, engaged in. One thing that really caught my eye was a foam roller, little thing right here on a inside trainer tip with a foam roller. So talking about, maybe posting a foam roller of yourself, maybe a video of you rolling out on a foam roller and maybe explaining kind of what that's doing. If you don't have that background, that's fine. Do what works for you. But these little jabs, you're telling stories, and you're engaging, and you have awesome content. But it needs to pertain to your brand, right? I'm probably not going to put out a awesome picture of amazing shoes, different kind of workout shoes. There's one pair that I wear. It's awesome. I love it. But for me, I like to wear bright colors, okay? And I have one pair of shoes. But I know a lot of people that, they love different workout shoes. That's what they do, and that's their thing. And so they'll post about that. So you need to be consistently adding content that works best for you. Telling stories is so important. Hey, check out Joe. Joe was in my challenge group. He lost 13 pounds. That's great. Good for Joe. That's what somebody's going to say. But if you tell the story, you tell Joe's story, you share that story with your audience and say how, he came in with 2 bad knees and, just a downer attitude and, really struggled with what to eat on the weekends. And here's what Joe did on the weekends. And, he has awesome testimonial for the Insanity program and he did a great job. And you post that, people are going to see that. That's adding content and value and stories. And somebody's going to go, wow, you know what? I can relate to Joe. I can relate to what he went through. I can relate to how he's, how he he couldn't eat breakfast and now he plans out his meals. They're going to relate to those things. Okay. So you want to build your brand through these things. Now there's going to be times where you're going to want to find that right moment. And what's great about a like page is it actually, Facebook gives you feedback. And typically when you post something, you only about 3 to 5%, and this was a staggering number for me, 3 to 5% of your people see it. And that's crazy. So if you're getting more likes and comments and people talking, you're gonna get, it's gonna continue to get brought back up in the news feed. Facebook is gonna recognize it as something that the viewers, your viewers, need to see. So it's gonna bring it back up. So think about content that people want to see, not content that you want to put out there just because you want to sell something. Okay? And if you're doing this properly, when you finally do want to throw your right hook, right? You tell a story about an amazing coach on your team or an amazing customer that you have and their weight loss, and you say, I have a 10-day challenge going on, a Shakeology challenge, a P90X challenge, I'm starting a new coach group. When you've built that and you finally throw that right hook, but you still got to tell the story. You can't just say, go buy my product, right? You still got to, the content still has to be engaging. When you do that, more people are going to be involved. They're going to be engaged. They're going to want to be engaged in that because they trust and they understand what your brand stands for. Okay, so there's a lot more that can go on to this, but I just want to give a little snippet to our team on how to build, motivation. Great things out there. Go to other places. This is Men's Health, so they, arms and back, arms and abs, right? We want arms and abs, right? Different things, grab different articles and just see what people are trying to come up with and the different things that people are, looking for, because typically magazines, they know what they're talking about, but it doesn't just have to be this. What works in your life? That's one thing that you want to do. So guys, hopefully that helps a little bit. I highly recommend that if you're looking at building your business via social media, that you become an expert as much as, and no, I don't mean expert like you can go teach this stuff, per se, but an expert in your own mind, so you know what are the things that I need to keep doing to grow my business and move it forward. Hopefully we'll have another video here soon, guys, and take care. Have a wonderful afternoon.